get the party started.
Oh, baby!
When was the last time you shit your pants?
You think I'm a goddamn fool?
I shit my pants last night.
It's a beautiful planet. Well, it's a moon for sure.
I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit. Put that in your piping smoke.
What's up, everybody? Josh, the Clearing Waivers Podcast, coming at you for another week of the Clearing Waivers Podcast. Hope everybody is doing good, great, and grand, also wonderful. We appreciate you joining us for another week. No guests this week. You just get the three of us this week. After a couple solid, really good interviews, it's just us this week. So you're welcome in advance. We appreciate letting us take your time and your ear space up, but we're not going to get to it. We're just going to get to it tonight. We're not going to clear any useless space here. We're just going to get into clear the waivers, talk a little bit of Royals, get into Shenanigans. So, as I said, let's get into clearing the waivers.
We're clearing the waivers.
Like I said, talked about a little Royals. We had a actual Royals baseball games the last few days. It seems like we've had three, like a go, stop, go, stop, go, stop. So here we are on another off day for the Royals. They did start the season 3-1 in their first four games, taking 2 of 3 of the Rangers, and then the first game against Cleveland, winning it the other night. So far, they've scored 31 runs. So a nice little jolt of offense in those 4 games. But they've also given up 17 runs. So there's a little bit to talk about, at least through these first 4 games. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've learned from those 4 games. And Katie, I'm going to start with you. What is something that you have learned in the first 4 games of the Royals 2021 season?
It's nice to have a lineup of more than just like 3 good hitters.
Yeah.
There's someone there that can pick somebody else up. So, I mean, I think that was probably one of the bigger things, that lengthened lineup is very helpful. You just pitcher doesn't get to relax on anybody specifically. So
yeah,
always feels good.
When Michael A. Taylor and Nicky Lopez are getting the 8-9 spots and just absolutely blistering the ball, it tends to go well for that offense.
Exactly, and I think it helps playing the Rangers first. Just really, get your bats off to a hot start early by playing that atrocious staff.
Yeah, that's it has always helped get a good start against a bad team. Hopefully they're bad. I mean, maybe the Rangers, they showed a little bit of offense themselves, just not enough. Weren't able to hang. But mine's kind of along the same lines here. What I've learned is on-base percentage is very good, very useful to actually plate runs. In 2020, the Royals were 26th in team on-base percentage with 309. Coincidentally, they were also 26th in runs scored. A little correlation, you think?
Maybe. No coincidence.
They're currently 3rd in OBP with 390, which is in and of itself is bonkers twofold. One, the Royals having a 390 on-base percentage is unheard of in my years. And 2, 390 is a hell of an on-base percentage, and there are 2 teams above them in on-base percentage. I think the Dodgers are up there, and they just absolutely went scorched earth those first few games. But yeah, 3rd is not bad. They're also 3rd in runs scored. Runs per game. So again, correlation. On-base percentage leads to runs. It is good to see. They currently have 5 guys in the top 50 in on-base percentage throughout the entire majors. Witt, Soler, Carlos Santana, like I said, Michael A. Taylor, and Nicky Lopez is in there, top 50 in on-base percentage as well. They also have 3 more rounding out the top 100 to go with them. So 8 of the 9 guys that are seeing at-bats are in the top 100 in on-base percentage. Always really good to see. I do kind of wonder, though, like we said, it was the Rangers, so not the top-notch pitching that we're seeing there. They're also seeing the 3rd least amount of pitches per at-bat. So that's not necessarily indicating that they're seeing a lot of pitches. They're just, seeing their pitches and taking it, or they're just getting walked really quick. Or, like Kitty alluded to, there's 3 or 4 guys that are really good at seeing pitches, and then the rest of them are swinging immediately. So I think that's it lengthens the lineup, and that's all. It's definitely a benefit. But I think it also balances out a lot too, because we did see a lot of those pitch counts driven up over the weekend and as well on Monday. We saw some good pitch counts, some good plate appearances that were kind of getting to those starting pitchers and getting in that bullpen really well. So I think all in all, it kind of comes all full circle with that offense centered around the on base percentage, adding guys like Benintendi, adding guys like Carlos Santana, and getting those guys to actually lengthen at bats is an all around good thing. And I mean, Santana's drawn hella walks, so he's doing exactly what we brought him in there for. So that's kind of what I've learned. On base percentage, good. That's what I got. Brian, what about you?
Besides the fact that it's clear that they're going to win 120 games, if you just do projections off this, I mean,
I think
it makes
that's pretty fair.
Perfect sense that 120 games is now the goal. But other than that, I would say the takeaway for me, results you kind of look at them as not even a week into the season, so it's hard to get too into the results. But I think the takeaway is that they showed me that they're fighters. The first couple of games getting down in big holes and coming right back at them and getting back. As we talked about, it was the Rangers. So you wonder how much you really put into that. But I've seen bad Royals teams before that get in an early hole and they just roll over and die. And they start swinging at everything, trying to hit it out of the park, and it just never works. And you end up getting blown out. And we saw that back-to-back days getting into holes. And I mean, you can get concerned about the starting pitching if you want, but I think that, they'll right the ship there and they'll come back, and we'll probably see this lineup kind of cool down a little bit, and we'll kind of even this all out as we continue going forward. But I just like the fight in them. To immediately get back those 5 runs in the first inning of opening day was wild. They go down 5 against your number 1 starter, and you're like, God, have I gotten too excited about this team this year? Are they going to do it to me again? But man,
they denouncing you for blowing up Smoke Up Keller's ass.
I know, he's my guy, and he was far from Clydesdale that day. But other than that, I was really impressed with the relief pitching. We talked about coming into this, something that I thought could potentially blow up is those relief pitching that was so dominant last year. Maybe we don't see that again, but so far they've had 19 innings pitched. They've got the 6th best bullpen in baseball by WAR right now. And what I like to see too is they're getting strikeouts. It's not just coming in and getting ground balls or getting outs. They're getting 11.2 Ks per 9. And usually when you have bullpen come in, that's because a starter's in trouble or guys are on base. You're looking for a strikeout. You're looking for that double play. And these guys have strikeout type arms. So I'm happy to see that bullpen there pick up the starters. The lineup obviously pick up the starters. So I think the starters will be fine. But it's nice to know that you've got a nice back into your bullpen that you can kind of trust. And as you pointed out, he's pitching these relievers for more than 1 inning a lot of times. And I like to see that too, because they love to tell you on the broadcast that the more pitchers you go to, the better chance you're going to find one that's not having his day. So if you can get by with 3 pitchers on the day, sign me up for that. We don't need to go 1 inning at the end of the game. If you can have a guy, be dominant for 2 innings apiece. And so the relief pitching is promising, and I like what I see there.
Yeah. I was just looking up trying to get a collective ERA total from WAR. Is not a great stat for bullpens, but
ERA is
I mean, they're like 20th in xFIP, and ERA they're 5th with a 1.69, 1.86. Sorry.
I think you'll take that.
Yeah, I think that'll do just fine. Yep.
Yeah. I think one worrisome bit is we don't seem to have any idea who a closer is, and feel like what we've seen in the past with bullpen by committees, it ends up being no one can save a game when you get to that point, because everyone, I don't know if they're walking on eggshells too much. They think they have to be just pitch perfect to get the next save opportunity, but I'd like to see this team find out who the closer is.
And we kind of saw that last year at the beginning of the season. Matheny was like, we're going to work these guys in different leverage situations. And then especially when they got, traded away Rosenthal, Holland kind of just settled in as the go-to closer at that point. I could see that happening here soon.
Yeah.
I think he's probably just getting a feel for, is Jesse Hahn going to be a dominant guy for us that we can count at the end? Are we going to play Greg Holland in the 7th if that's their 2-3-4 coming up? I mean, I could see them playing around with this for a while, but I think here a month in, I think we're probably looking at one guy getting most of the saves.
I mean, that's traditional way of thinking of Matheny going potentially, a little bit more stats oriented, maybe matchup oriented, and maybe maybe you don't have that guy that is worried about getting those save opportunities. I don't think anybody. I mean, Holland's not trying to resurrect his career. Wade Davis is not going to be a elite closer money after this year. Maybe Jesse Hahn, but I mean, at that point, he's just trying to stay healthy at this point. So build a little bit of value for himself. I did mention it in the chat there on Monday night that it was going to be interesting to see who got the ninth, because it was Cleveland's 2, 3, 4 hitters in a save opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
3-0. So, and it turned out to be Jesse Hahn at that point. Once he got into a little bit of trouble, then Greg Holland started warming up, I believe. So I think that's the pecking order right now from what that's telling me, but it could just be, Matheny like the matchups against the 2, 3, and 4, what Hahn's stuff was. Maybe they love off speed, so they didn't really want to go to Holland. But
and I also think there might be a factor too that Hahn had gotten up and been warming up for a while. They kind of thought he might have to bail out. Was it Zimmer pitching for them?
Yeah.
I think he kind of getting into some trouble. So I think Hahn was like fully hot in the bullpen, and maybe he doesn't want to just, waste that at this point in the season. If you trust the guy, let him go out there and get the save.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's good to have options, I think. But to Kitty's point, you like to think that closer is the alpha. And if there's no, we've heard of Greg Holland being the alpha mentality. We all know Wade Davis is out there and not feeling feelings and just there to put asses in seats. So it's not a lack of there's no alpha out there. Maybe there's just a lot of alphas and they all like to eat a little bit.
Right. I'd have no problem having your number, like maybe your second best reliever you're feeling as your closer, and then throw in the alpha as a high leverage guy through 6, 7, 8 and see what happens.
Yeah. Having the options.
Possibility.
And then you have the toy with Stalmont to just play whenever you want to.
Let it eat.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Barlow's just wiping guys out. I mean, it depends on what you're doing with Junis. Zimmer's looked really, really good. Junis has been nasty. I mean, it's got dudes. So
yep.
I went into this kind of thinking that the bullpen might be a bit risky. They're the ones that I was kind of looking at to be, the real wild card to this team's success. And boy, they've really put me a little bit more at ease after seeing those first few games.
And watching Wade Davis again. I mean, he kind of looked like
fun.
himself. He gave up a tater the other night. Didn't really matter much in the game, but I've been impressed with his stuff. He's got his velocity back, it seems like, and I'm excited about Wader this year.
We're not talking about it enough, but High Sox Wader is elite Wader. When he had the baggy pants back in 15, whatever, I mean, that was awesome. But give me some High Sox Wade Davis, and I can really get on board with that.
100%.
Looking like a real sexy baseball player at that point. Let's move on here. We've got last week we introduced Ball Street. We're going to bring you a little bit of Ball Street. We got some stocks to buy and sell to kind of go off of the way too early conclusions drawn here category. But I got 4 guys that are kind of making a statement here very early. So we're going to buy, sell, or hold some stocks on these guys. I'm going to start off with Michael A. Tater. See, he's got off to a real hot start, hitting 438 with 2 dingers, 6 ribbies, and a 255 WRC plus. Very, very good. I, for one, am willing to eat all the crow on that signing. But where are you guys at on buying stock here, Brian? Why don't you lead us off?
I think you'd have to be a maniac not to sell it if we're treating this like a stock right now, because what he's doing right now is outrageous. But let's get crazy. I want to hold, actually. I want to hold here because what I'm seeing is a guy that looks super confident at the plate, and he's coming into the spring. He says he's worked on some things. He's kind of tinkered with his swing and his setup. And you hear that every spring, right? You're like,
you sure do.
I'm going to I've tweaked some things. It's going to, shorten my swing. I'm going to get to balls I never got to before. and they always turn out the same. Well, Michael A. Taylor is hitting the shit out of the ball right now, and it looks like it's painful for him to keep that front foot down and not take that big jump. But and how he still generates that much power that we've seen is pretty special. So I'd like to hold on and see what he's doing right now in this pace is not happening. Obviously, that's outrageous, but I think he could have a careerish type year that if he keeps going in this direction and this new swing thing really matters. Like you said, Josh, all three of us weren't real high on that signing at the time when Dayton said he wanted on base guys, and he was one of the worst in the league coming in. So I'm going to hold. I think he's got a year, a good chance to have a big year and maybe his best year ever.
Yeah, that would be very, very nice if he made us all look like fools. It'd be a lot of fun. Speaking of comps, apparently Rex Hudler thinks he looks a little bit like Lorenzo Cain out there.
All right. I'll buy some of that defense then. Buy some of that defensive stock. Sell the offense, buy the defense. How about that?
Go take a nap, Ed. Go take a nap. Kitty, where are you at? Buy, sell, or trade these bad boys?
I mean, I'm as Kaiser first noted, there's got to be a maniac to not sell if this is a stock. I can't imagine your value could be any higher with the plate appearances putting up, and then also I'll just throw in a couple outfield assists to do it as well. So, I mean, he's just doing it. A player couldn't get off to a better start with his new team. In 4 games, what Michael A. Taylor's done.
Merwin or whatever his name for the White Sox.
Mercedes
started.
Oh,
Yerman
Mercedes. Yeah, German Mercedes. I think.
German Merman. I'd say he might have a little better start, but yeah, it's really tough to have a better start than Michael A. Taylor right now.
Yeah, nice.
So you're selling too, right?
I mean, I gotta sell. I'm gonna make some money on these stocks. If I'm just gonna be a homer, I'm buying more.
Sure.
Give me another Michael A. Taylor. Get more of them in there.
My concern is we're not the only ones understanding that this is not for real. So I wonder. It seems like there needs to be some kind of pattern or maybe a larger sample size for the price to actually get to the point where we're kind of being like, oh, sell.
True.
So this seems like one of those things where it's like, oh, I bet Michael A. Taylor's stock is up. Let's go check it out. Oh no, it's the exact same. Nobody believes. Okay, no, I'm just going to hold on to this. I have to.
That's
so I think I would love to sell it, but I don't think there's going to be a market for it. I think we're going to be disappointed in the sale price at this point. But keep going. I mean, I'll eat. I got it here. I'll eat 7 to 8 different servings of crow if I'm wrong about you, Michael A. Taylor. So prove me wrong. I'm willing to ride the wave for as long as I need to. So
I don't know if that's legal in the country.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Moving on, we're going to the next player. Probably one of the only other guys that is getting off to a hotter start is old Whit Merrifield. Currently hitting .500 with 3 dingers, 9 ribbies, and a .290 WRC plus. A little bit different scenario here because he's got a little bit longer history and sample size of being a good player. But Kitty, what are you doing with your stock of Whit Merrifield?
I'm just gonna keep holding. Keep holding Whit. I mean, every year there's seems like either don't know if it's Royals fans generating the trade rumors or if other teams are putting them out there, but nothing ever comes of it. But it's always just, okay, Whit's still on the team after the trade deadline. So let's just keep holding it, keep holding Whit. I mean, the guy goes in the spring camp. All right, I'm an outfielder this year again. We got new player at second base. Now I'm going to second base now. I'll just do that. I can do that. And then he just gets off hottest start probably he's ever had in his career. So guy's a gamer. He's a real Gruden grinder.
Real grinder. Yeah. Real
give
gym
me more,
rat.
I'm going to hold on to my Whit Merrifield.
Okay. I'm actually going to be selling my Whit Merrifield stock here. Great. Obviously off to a great start. I don't think he's ever going to keep pace for a 500 average and 3 home runs. Whatever that slug is he's not going to do it. He's never done that.
He's not going to slug 1100. Come on.
I don't think so. But I do think people are going to bump up his stock considering he had that larger sample size. He had a great 17, 18, and 19, and he had a great spring to roll into that. So they're going to kind of think that his price is going up. Somehow Whit Merrifield's defying age. He's Tom Brady now. And they're going to think that his stock price is going up. They're going to be willing to buy as much as they can. So I think I'll be able to sell right now because his price will never be higher than it is right now. So I'm going to sell that out. I think it's going to be a slow decline. Might as well cash out at the peak. So I'm selling my Whit Merrifield stock, and I'm going to add that to the bank. Brian?
I think that's probably a fair take to sell right now. His OPS plus is 331. 100 is average. He is 331. He has a 500 batting average. I mean, he's hot as can be right now. I love what I see from Whit at the plate. He looks so confident when he's almost borderline cocky when he's standing in there. Because Monday night, you saw Zach Allen kind of pitch him high and in, and he kind of stepped out. He's like, all right, give me that again. Like the next pitch, bam, right up the middle. He just sees the ball so well right now. He's in such a rhythm. You just love to see when he's walking to the plate because you feel good about what's about to happen. So, yeah, I think right now he's at the peak of his career, and it's a good time to sell if you want to sell. I'm fine with holding it like Kitty, too. I think he's going to be good the rest of the year. He loves to play every day. He's going to be looking for 200 hits again, and I think he's going to get there.
I'm into it. He's locked in. There's not much else that can compare to a locked in Whit Merrifield at this point. Yeah. Not in a Royals uniform. So we're hopefully that continues to go. Next player is Mr. Danny Duffy, one of my favorite Royals of all time. Here on Monday night, he against Cleveland, he went 6 innings pitched, 5 Ks, 3 walks, 2 hits, and 0 earned runs. Did get the win as well. I'm gonna sell. I'm gonna sell again. He's got obviously a great showing there. I do really appreciate everything that Danny Duffy has done for this. I'm rooting for done for this franchise. I'm rooting for him to continue to be with the Royals after this year and end and being buried as a Royal. His xFIP is not good, despite having a good performance. It's 517. Basically, he's just giving a lot of hard hits and a lot of fly balls that are usually home runs.
Not maybe that's usually a dead ball. Home run.
That's the thing. That's what xFIP is. It's supposed to be fly ball rates and compared to hard hits in a vacuum. That's what they're supposed to be taking into consideration. Is those fly balls are usually home runs.
Dork numbers.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll give that. I'll give it. But that 517 is below both Mike Minor and Brady Singer, who combined for give up 9 earned runs and 9 1/3 innings in their first 2 starts. So
tells you how terrible this stat is.
If you don't subscribe to those stats, his next 2 opponents are the Angels and the Blue Jays. Do you think he's going to do better or worse than he currently is? I'll take your silence as you think he's going to do worse.
You assume he's going to do worse against those 2 teams.
Correct. So I'm going to go ahead and sell now that his stock is higher. They think that he's going to rebound this year. Contract year remains undefeated. I hope I'm right. I love me Danny Duffy, but I think these next 2 starts are going to make his stock price dip. So I'm going to go ahead and get out on Danny Duffy. Brian?
Good God. How dare you? Betrayal. Bury me a Royal. I'm buying Danny Duffy all day, every day. We're talking about our number 4 starter here. Career ERA plus of 108. That you'll take as your 4th starter all day, every day. Almost any playoff team would take that guy as their 4th starting pitcher, unless your name's the Dodgers, which has an outrageous pitching staff. But if you can get an above average pitcher as your number 4 pitcher, you sign up for that all day, every day. I'm buying. We don't need Duffman to be the ace of this staff. And we're not asking him to be, even though he's the only guy that's pitched well in that role right now. We're 1 game in, and he's our number 1 starter right now. But
I totally blew my mind that Mike Minor got 6 innings on opening day.
Yeah, that was wild, a grind.
Yeah, it was.
That was a grind. So I'm buying all day.
Okay. Kitty, what are you doing with your Danny Duffy stock?
I'm going to go with the hold again. I don't think this 1 start did a whole lot for stock price movement. Plus, I mean, it was also, 14 degrees in Cleveland that day.
It was.
So you can hit a ball real hard and it's that cold and it still doesn't go anywhere. So it's very, very helpful. So, I mean.
Right off the lake, too. We got the lake effect. I mean, that's probably some pea soup sky out there.
That is real tough to do anything in those conditions. Real tough. Unless you're apparently Miggy Cabrera, hit balls out when it's snowing.
Mm-hmm.
I just,
it's stupid.
I never realized how effective Duffy had been in his career. I didn't realize he was a ERA plus of 108.
Yeah.
For some reason in my head, I just thought he was just really just poor and never really lived up to anything. Maybe it was just because he's a homegrown guy and expectations were sky high when he came up.
Yeah.
That
He had
kinda-
like really, really good years that were usually cut short by injury. That's just
Right.
that's just tough to do. But yeah.
So I'm gonna hold on to Duffy. I like this. I like the number change. Maybe he's got a little bit of help from above from Giordano this year. So let's hold on to Duffy here.
Best shape of his life.
Best shape of his life. Don't get me wrong. I'm taking Danny Duffy all day, every day. I love this
sounded like
version of Danny Duffy. I'm in it for me and my money. And my money says go ahead and sell on this current price is all I'm saying. Not saying I don't like Danny Duffy. This is not a Darren Waller thing. This is purely looking out for number one me right now in my money.
Fair enough.
Final player here, new addition, Andrew Benintendi, off to a pretty slow start here, hitting 167 with 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits, and an 8 WRC plus. So not off to the great start that we were kind of hoping that he'd get into. Brian, what are you doing with Benintendi stock?
I'm slamming that buy button because his stock price has probably never been lower than it is. He's coming off a bad year in the short year last year. I don't think he is actually this bad. I've kind of liked to see some of the swings I've saw out of him. He kind of has some tough luck outs, it seemed like. So he should have a few more hits than he does. So I don't think it's as you watch him at bat, and it's not like he looks lost up there, right?
Yep.
He's still putting good swings on it and seeing the ball all right. So I'm buying. I think those numbers will come. It's just really early in the year.
Yep. Kitty, where are you at?
I was thinking the same, buying him. One worrisome thing is maybe the Red Sox were onto something when they're paying us to take him away from them. Maybe they saw something last year that he's not going to get through. So, but I'm hoping Royals can figure something out with him, and he'll figure it out and at least be a serviceable major league ball player. Can't be this bad, you're right?
Right.
Can't be this bad.
No way.
I really don't want him to turn into the new Nicky Lopez, the 2020 Nicky Lopez, where it's like, well, he's playing great defense, so we got to keep him in the lineup.
Right.
He is playing great defense.
He is playing great defense, and I do like. I'm buying as well. Looking at his caveat here, this is a very small sample size, especially to look at plate discipline stats. But we're gonna do that because here we are. Nothing's really jumping out of me as far as like out of the ordinary for what he's usually done. He's not swinging at pitches outside the zone. He is swinging a lot more, which is just that's a Royals thing. That's what they do. They teach their hitters to swing at everything they can as soon as they see it. So it's tough to pull away anything from that sample size. He is swinging it, but it's not out of the ordinary. His BABIP is a 231, whereas you're usually, in a vacuum, you're usually looking for a player to have around a 300 BABIP. So you could potentially add another 700 or 70 points to his batting average and get him somewhere like 230, 240, bit more acceptable here. But at the same time, he didn't have a great BABIP last year. So he's got some good baseball karma coming his way. I still believe that there's room to even get to his floor. So I'm going to hammer that buy button. And if he starts to hit that 2017, 2018 Andrew Benintendi mileage, then look out, because that price is going to skyrocket, and I'll be living fat. It'll probably be an okay profit. It's not going to be a retirement profit, but it'll be okay profit.
I guess
we're all
on how hard
believers.
you buy that.
Well, you can only buy so much after you sold all your Danny Duffy stock. I don't know how much you're actually going to have in there, but you never know. So that's what we got. That's what we're buying. That's what we're selling. We do have a very encouraging feeling after seeing those first 4 games. Let's hope the Royals keep it going here. We're going to move on to the shenanigans here with our first one. Get a little bit of we're going to combine a couple of them here. This is basically going to be waiver watch with waiver sharks is going to be the game here. So I'm going to go ahead and put some waiver watch segment music here. So basically the rule of the game here, I got 4 categories here, and they're Rotten Tomato scores, the audience score. We usually play the critic score. This is going to be a little bit different with the audience scores here. So you guys are going to pick a door 1 through 3 or 4. Each one of them has 10 movies within it. I've got their Rotten Tomato scores written down. All these movies have something in common. So you'll want to get the higher or lower from the previous Rotten Tomatoes score. And then at the end, when you're done, you're either done guessing or you've gone through the whole list. You're going to guess what the common theme among those movies is. Cool?
Yep.
Cool.
All right, Kitty, I think you won Ball Street. So I'm going to have you go first. Pick your door
Sounds
1,
great.
2, 3, or 4.
I'm going to go door 2.
Door number 2. Okay, what's your starting point 1 through 10?
7.
7. All right, your first movie is Inside Man from 2006. Got an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes audience score. 85, real solid. Your next movie is Die Hard with a Vengeance. Is its audience score higher or lower than an 85?
I'm going to go lower.
It is lower at 83.
Oh, good Lord. That's
Yeah,
way
how
higher
about
than I
that?
would have expected.
Your next movie is a movie called Banditas from 2006.
Banditas?
Banditas.
No, never heard of it. I'll just go lower. No idea. Who's
It
in
is
this or
lower.
what it is.
It is. It is 43%.
Oh, all right.
That's probably why you've never heard of it. I'm really glad that you get this next movie because you might be the only one of the three of us outside of myself that knows this. Brian probably is not familiar with this movie, but in 2008, a movie called Mad Money came out.
Oh, I think I know that one. Yeah.
Is it higher or lower
Oh,
than a
man.
43?
What year was that again?
2008.
If that's the movie, I'm thinking of? Oh, no. Not sure.
Mad
Not-
Money.
It's not a Jim Cramer biopic, is it?
Yep. Mad Money. Money never sleeps.
Let's try higher than 43.
It is higher. It's a 48.
Escape.
So let's go up to the other round here. Next movie is Point Break from 1991.
Higher.
It is higher, 79%.
That's
Good
still too
job.
low.
Next movie, Now You See Me from 2013. Higher or lower than a 79?
Let's go higher for some reason.
It is lower at a 70%. Two
Ah.
shocking things about that is it's 70% is shocking in itself, but Kitty thinking it's higher than a 79. That's also very surprising.
I just feel like I saw it. I hated it, but I'm more on the critic side than the audience side. So I just had to reverse jinx myself with that one.
Sure, I get that. All right, so you got 4 points. Good start. Better than 3 and 2 and 1 or 0.
True.
So your movies were Inside Man, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Banditas, Mad Money, Point Break, and Now You See Me. Do you know the common theme of those films?
I'm going to go with bank robberies.
That is correct for a extra bonus point.
Woo!
Very good. Also among these is Den of Thieves, Dark Knight, Hell or High Water, or Out of Sight.
Oh, those are great movies.
Yep.
And then there's Banditas.
And then there's
And then
Banditas, which
Banditas
is
and Mad Money snuck in there.
Salma Hayek and Penelope Cruz. It's like an old 1800s
Okay.
turn of the century Mexican bank robberies. Basically,
Okay.
just a movie to get them to wear low cut shirts.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, you're up. You get door number 1, 3, or 4.
4.
4. All right. Pick 1 through 10 for your starting point.
Let's do 4 again.
4. Your movie is Ocean's 8 from 2018. Got a 45%
Yikes.
audience score. That wasn't even critics. That was
God.
audience. Your next movie is Crash from 2004. Higher or lower than a 45?
Higher.
It was. It got an 88%.
Yeah, I remember that being liked.
It's Oscar winner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was definitely in the mix.
in the mix, yeah.
Your next movie is Bird Box from 2018.
Oh, was that the Sandra Bullock? Like,
I don't know.
was that the blind
hints.
one?
No hints.
Where she's in a boat or something?
Bird Box. It's a box with a bird in it.
feel like
Josh, your face was great. Just giving the no hints.
No
Just
hints.
smug. It was a good smug face. I liked it.
I remember a lot
hints,
of people
kiddo.
talking about it, but not a whole lot of people liked it. So I'm gonna go lower.
It was lower, 57%.
Ugh.
Next movie is Minions from 2015.
Oh, what was the last one? 48 something, 50.
Last one was 57%.
I mean, people like Minions, right? Let's go higher.
It was lower,
What?
49%.
Wow, I did not expect that. I would
What?
have
How about that?
too.
How about
People
that?
hate Minions.
Apparently so. It's wild.
I mean,
So,
I
Brian,
can't say I ever
you're-
watched it, but
Right. You know of it, but it's not like
Sure.
you're just cranking it up in the VCR.
it's no Bird
on it.
Box, I guess.
Right. No Bird Box. Your movies are Ocean's 8, Crash, Bird Box, and Minions. What's the common thread?
Jesus. I think I've only watched one of these movies, so it's
That is tough then. 'Cause you got two casts with a lot of people in it, so that's a tough. And then none of them are really along the same lines from genres. So
and Minions is completely different from Bird Box, I'm assuming. Oh
it's
my
a Minion
God.
box.
I have no clue. I have no idea.
No
Sandra
guesses?
Bullock.
That's correct.
Oh,
Oh,
was it really?
from downtown.
Sandy Bullock is in all of those movies.
You better put Miss Congeniality 1 or 2 on this
Miss
list.
Congeniality, it was number 2, was coming next at a 43%.
I
Armed
don't
and
think I knew
Fabulous.
she was in Ocean's 8 either.
Armed and Fabulous.
I knew she was in that. I didn't know she was in Bird Box, but I guess I wasn't thinking just her. I didn't have any idea she was in the other 2 movies.
Bird Box was trash.
Was that the movie I was describing?
She
Yeah, it
was.
was.
You can't. There's demons walking the earth, and if you look at them, you just go and kill yourself. It's kind of like The Happening.
Okay.
Whoa, spoiler city over here on The Happening. Out of left field with that one.
How far are we removed? Like 15 years? At least 2 decades from The Happening.
It's
If
on
you
my
haven't
watch
seen
list.
The Happening. All right, so we've got 2 more categories here. Tight ball game. Kitty up 5-3 at the moment. We still got door number 1 and 3. Kitty, what do you got?
Let's try 1.
1,
Spot 4.
4. Your movie from 1999, American Beauty. Rocking a solid 93%.
Good
Yep.
starting point.
It is. Better be.
Your next movie is No Country for Old Men from 2007. Higher or lower than a 93?
Oh, Kaiser, you jerk.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go lower.
It is lower, 86%. Good
That's
guess.
shocking to
I
me.
felt like people were going, it's too slow.
Yeah.
Idiots. More
Next
slow.
movie is from 2015, Spotlight. Speaking of slow,
Yeah.
higher or lower than an 86?
Another Oscar movie here. Let's go lower.
It was higher with a 93% audience score. So, Kitty, you've got American Beauty, No Country for Old Men, and Spotlight. What's the common theme?
I'm gonna go Oscar-winning movies, but is it the movie themselves or was it an supporting actor? Maybe one.
Oh, he's in his head.
I'm gonna go supporting actor winners in the Oscars.
Your first guess is always the right guess.
Oh,
It was Oscar winners for Best Picture.
Dang it!
Oh God.
That
They
was
get my own
that
head.
was going to be a gauntlet for the higher and lower. Let me tell you.
Oh
No
yeah,
kidding.
definitely.
Jesus.
Oh,
That
What was the
gonna be
lowest?
brutal.
What was the lowest number in there?
The Shape of Water from 2017 got a 72,
That makes sense.
okay.
sandwiched between A
Weird.
Beautiful Mind and American Beauty. So if you got, it was the last one. Kitty picked the best spot to be in.
Hmm.
All right. So Brian needs 3 here. All right. Yep.
Let's go.
3. You
I'll
get
blow
door number
this.
3 is left. Pick your starting point, 1 through 10.
Let's stay at 4.
4. Your first movie from 1987, Predator.
Mm-hmm.
Got an 87%. Good for Predator.
Sure it did.
That'll do. Your next movie is from 1988, Beetlejuice.
Oh God.
Higher or lower than an 87?
Holy shit, this is tough. People love Predator. I mean, that's iconic almost.
Two
Beetlejuice.
solid cult classics here.
It
Yeah,
is.
people
And
love
two
Beetlejuice.
completely different audiences.
Oh, totally.
I'm in for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have a screw half loose to have Beetlejuice as one of your favorite, but there's people that.
Oh, all right then. Coming at me hot.
Screw half loose to enjoy Predator as much as 87%.
Beetlejuice. Let's go lower.
It was lower in 82.
God bless.
Next movie, also from 1988, Willow.
Oh no.
Higher or
Willow.
lower than an 82%.
Oh, why are we in the 80s so much?
Speaking of cult classics,
Another one, yeah.
I mean, this is kind of a tough trio to start with here.
And again, your screws half loose if you love Willow too much.
He's coming at everybody tonight.
Yeah, he's coming at all the nerds.
I'm gonna go lower for Willow.
Willow is lower, 79%. Care of your chinny chin chin there.
Way too high.
Let's stay in the 80s here.
No.
1987, RoboCop. Higher or lower than a 79%. This is for the tie.
Oh God. RoboCop. I'd like to know what the critics shit all over that one, but we're talking
good
about
question.
audience here. RoboCop. I think it's going to be even lower.
RoboCop, 84. Higher.
Oh,
Shit.
well, it gets
This
all the bonus point
Could
possibility.
also tie with the bonus point here. Predator, Beetlejuice, Willow, RoboCop. What do they have in common?
God, this is what? I don't think it would be all 80s movie because you already told us the years they're from.
True.
RoboCop.
I just looked up. Critics gave RoboCop a 90.
Well, look out.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm shocked as you are.
How about the remake? What's the remake got? It was like 2016 or something like that. Look that up.
I will.
Oh,
Predator, Beetlejuice, Willow, RoboCop.
these are all such different movies. Was Arnold Schwarzenegger involved with all of them?
That's a good guess. He was not. The answer is right there in front of you, though. They're all one-word titles with the character name as the title of the movie.
Tricky.
Because you're going to have Mud, Matthew McConaughey, then Creed, then Mandy, Aquaman, Thor, Moana. Yep.
Fuck, Mandy. Oh, good
RoboCop
lord.
messed me up.
RoboCop. It
All
got you
right.
by one.
Is there a hyphen in there?
Nope.
Shit.
The
Even
remake
a
in
hyphenated word is
2014.
one. Even a hyphenated word is just one word.
Well, it messed with my brain.
Irregardlessly. What did you
That's
say,
right.
Kitty? 2014?
RoboCop 2014. Critics 48. Audience 49.
Whoa.
They
That's
everyone hated
bad.
it together.
That's really bad. That's not good at all. So Kitty is the winner of the Shark Watch, is what
Once
we're going to
again.
call that.
Barely.
Yeah.
That was
Brian, solid showing
on-
though. I'm proud of
skin
you.
on my
Not
teeth.
embarrassing this time.
I'm proud of you. Yep.
Well, what we did last time when we both bowed out after like one guess
Yeah,
in each category.
It was a 30-second segment. It was real good content.
And it wasn't our first time.
It wasn't. No. So yeah, I like that game. I think we should keep bringing that back. I think it's a good twist on what we've done here. So let's get into the waiver wire for the week. This week we got one of those fun, very general drafts to go off of. We've done the best smells. This week we're going with the best sounds. We've got some good ears on us in this trio here. So we've got some sounds for you. We're gonna draft. Kitty, you're gonna go first, and then I'm gonna go next, and then Brian will go third, and then we'll turn it around from there. Kitty, what is your number one best sound?
I mean, we heard it quite a bit if you watched the basketball game on Monday night, and that is the sound of a pure swish. Just that basketball ripping through the net is a great sound.
I agree.
As someone that dabbled in a little bit of basketball as a younger man, that sounds slightly foreign to me. So hearing it last night when those guys were just bombing threes like nobody's business, that's fun to hear. Just fun. It's a great shot, perfect shot. Just nailed it all night.
Shout out to the Baylor Bears. You'd think of a sports podcast that probably touch on the national championship. No, it was not worth talking about.
No, we just did.
Yep. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations on Gonzaga getting there, because their Final Four game was awesome. Nothing short of an awesome game. But we expected more out of that matchup. I think it was the matchup that everybody wanted to see. I would say even KU Jayhawks fans would probably deep down wanted to see those two teams go at it if they couldn't see KU. So, and they're soulless. So, I mean, if they're going to be rooting for that matchup, then you know that people will like it. So, I'm going to go next with mine. Very similar to probably what we've heard a lot of here, let's say the last year or maybe just our whole lifetime. But the crack of a can, beer can, soda pop can, just a. It's the best sound in the world. So give me the crack of a nice cold beverage can.
Yeah, I definitely went beer can. I was very specific. I'm not too jazzed on a soda can popping up and just another care soda.
We're not a soda podcast.
That's right. That's very true.
If we're drinking soda, something went wrong. But beer is usually what we're rolling there.
Right. Also, it accompanies usually the start of a good time. So
that's right.
Good signifier.
That's what I have. They're my number one pick as well, crack of the beer. And it's a signal to the world that daddy's checking out. So
no more expectations, please.
Yep. It's quiet time.
I like it. Yep. I like it. Brian, what's your first pick?
Let's go the opposite of quiet here. And it's the roar of the crowd. It's something that gives you goosebumps. During the Royals run, one of my favorite videos that was going around was the person that took the video outside the stadium for like the final out that was going to send the Royals to the World Series. And you could kind of hear the levels of the roar as, Moose grounded the ball at third, and then the throw over, and then people just go nuts. Like just thinking about it now, it gives me goosebumps. And it's like, there's nothing that like gets your adrenaline going being inside a stadium when the atmosphere is just nuts and you feel like you want to get out there and play. So give me the roar of the crowd all day, every day.
Oh yeah. There's so many good clips to show that. It's like one of them is the Lorenzo Cain scoring from first.
Oh yeah.
Just everyone all of a sudden he rounds third and he's going. He's not even hesitation, and the crowd just starts going crazy, and that's just I feel like you get a lot of goosebumps every time you listen to those, just to hear in that crowd and what it meant. It's so good.
Got him right meow. Got him.
Cain can fly.
He can fly.
That's right. So good.
I still go back to that wild card game, man. The first one is the Eric Hosmer hit when it bounced off that wall and landed on the ground. Man, people were going nuts. But I think the epitome of that is the Salvi walk-off, because it was hit, silence, gets through, and then explosion of fan. So I'll never forget that moment. And it, like Brian said, once you kind of go back and can relive those moments through the YouTube or social media or whatever, it's just it kind of brings back those goosebumps all over again. So glad we can get back the roar of the crowd, at least at a little point. If you're in Texas, you get a whole stadium apparently now. So congratulations to Texas stadiums, but the rest of us will be right behind you here shortly. So glad we got that back.
All right,
Brian, lead off round 2.
Let's raise some more goosebumps with my next sound, and that is the notification jingle that they play when a draft pick is in for the NFL draft. I love the draft pick when they get that ding ding ding. And then you're like, you jump off the edge of your seat. And you're like, shut up. It's picks in. Are we taking the QB? Are they taking our guy? And you're glued to it. And if anybody tries to talk to you, you throw something at them, because everyone needs to be paying attention when that jingle goes. So Give me that jingle all day, every day. I love the NFL draft. And so anytime a pick comes in, I'm not listening to whoever's talking anymore. I'm watching the TV with 100% of my attention.
Yep. We had the fantasy baseball draft, and that reminded me of the ESPN added in the ding 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 or whatever the sound that they play when it's your turn to pick. I love that sound too, because then you just snap right in super focus. But
then you get anxiety attacks.
100%. And that's kind of, yeah. He's like, oh, I should have been prepared for this. I didn't even see it coming.
Nope.
God forbid you're on the turn. But when you hush the whole crowd, when the pick is in, you hear the noise, pick is in, pick is in, pick is in, pick is in. It just goes on for like 2 minutes till we get through commercials, or we have to wait for the podium to set back up. It's the worst. That's the toughest thing.
I agree.
My next pick, heard it a lot this last weekend, but the crack at the bat. Give me that the cannon explosion, the Shohei Ohtani type from Sunday night baseball. It was so loud. I can't get enough of the crack at the bat. So I very much want that in my repertoire here.
Yeah, and I'd like to know what the count is on Royals players that we've had the past, 10 years where the crack of the bat just sounds different with this guy.
Just sounds different from them. Yeah.
There's been like 10 guys.
I almost feel like they add a little extra juice to that crack of the bat on Sunday Night Baseball.
I think so too. Yeah.
There's a microphone way closer on Sunday Night Baseball, I think, than there is on other games, because that sounded way louder than anything else we've heard either this season or previous seasons to me. So
I'm
here for it. Yeah, I'm here for it. I love it. I think everything needs to get this close mic to hear that bat crack.
It feels like they do that in March Madness too, with the swish. It seems like it's more prominent.
There's got to be one right underneath the basket.
I'm into it. I love it.
Yep, I love it too.
Kitty, what's your second pick here?
Well, something else we heard a lot this week, and that's "Hello, Friends" from the Masters. It's the Masters theme. Oh, that's a great theme song. Just all right. Just it's very calm, just relaxing tone. Ready to watch some golf, people. First major of the year. Golf season's officially here. Springtime's abound. The azaleas have bloomed, and we're ready to play some damn golf.
Yep.
I need someone to set up a lineup so where Kitty can point out the azaleas.
Yep.
the big florist that Kitty is. That's an Iggy azalea.
Put her in there, hide her in the photo somewhere. Well, there's multiple azaleas in here.
I know that azalea.
Let's see if you can spot them all.
I could spot an Australian female rapper if I ever saw one. Kitty, third pick.
All right, this is going to be one that probably a lot of people have not heard, but it was one of the funnier sounds I've ever heard in my life.
Oh no!
That is a empty beer bottle, rolling down a movie theater floor.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was quiet. I can't remember. I think it was just after the credits had started rolling, and all of a sudden the metal on that floor is very distinct sound, and everyone just started cracking up, because we're all waiting too to see how long it would roll, because it was at a big theater. I think it was AMC 30 on the way through there. So I mean, it was in one of the big ones. So it had a long way to go, and it ran for a while. It was so good. That sound is fantastic.
I like it. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Was
Outside
there a drop off? Hopefully not.
There was not. I think it may have gone all the way to the front and hit the screen.
Perfect.
The bottom of the screen.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
For my third pick, I'm also going to go with one of the funniest noises that is out there. That is a fart on a wooden church pew.
Very specific.
If you're lucky, you get a little lean so that there's plenty of reverberation off of that wood. But one of the funniest times I've ever experienced was our Uncle Randy ripping one in an old wooden church pew that was a little bit louder than he expected, and his laugh is just so amazing. It's absolutely unable to be contained when it goes in really hard, and it's just in a middle of a church sermon, and everybody clearly heard it. It's just perfect.
The
Just perfect
acoustics of the
stuff.
church too
Yep.
just adds to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's like almost an echo to everything.
I mean, it's an echo from the source, and then it just continues to reverberate throughout. It's fantastic.
True.
It is one of my favorite sounds of all time. So I know that's probably not on a lot of lists, but boy, it's pretty high on mine. I just figured I'd be able to get it pretty soon. So
I
give me
think
a
it
fart
was-
on a wooden church pew.
I think it just got added to a lot of lists.
Yeah.
Yep, it should. If you
Either
haven't
people that
experienced it,
haven't
go ahead
or-
and
yeah.
give it a.
Right, they're gonna start going to church here soon.
Yep. I mean, we got wedding season's right upon us, guys, and that's almost the perfect opportunity to do it. So
That sounds like the next draft too is best things to fart off of.
yeah, I'm gonna write that down actually. I don't want to forget about that one. That's a good one.
Our wives and moms will be so proud.
Uh-huh. They'll be skipping that episode for sure.
They'll just hit the pause button right before the draft.
Uh-huh. Yep. Brian, what's your third pick?
I'm going with Morgan Freeman's voice.
Yeah.
I feel like if everyone in the world had Morgan Freeman's voice, it would just be like such a better world to live in.
Oh, sure.
Everyone would just be calm, cool, collected, relaxed. I mean, nobody raises their voice. It's just everyone's just chill.
Mhm.
And so give me Morgan Freeman's voice. It just puts you in a better mood and chills you out if you're hyped up. So
Yep. I think that's fair. That's a good
That's
one.
a good one. Yeah, every time you hear his voice in the movie, you're like, oh, it's so iconic, and like you said, calms you down.
Yep. And for my final selection, I want to get real calm because I'm going with the sound of silence, boys.
Oh my.
Silence. Working from home has given me a whole nother level of silence that I have never experienced in my life. And it's low key one of the best things about working from home. When when the house is completely empty and it's just you and the dog, that sound of silence, once again, nice and relaxing. You can listen to whatever you want at whatever volume you want. There's no screaming going on or crying or anything at all going on. So give me the sound of silence so I can be relaxed.
I think that's fair.
I have a bit of the opposite reaction.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Hold on. Wait. Wait for my pick.
All right, I'll just let you go. All right.
My last pick is the low hum of a fan in silence, because silence gives me next level anxiety for some reason. I don't know why. So I need a fan involved. So I can't have pure silence. I got to have something going on. Kitty, what were you gonna say? Was that where you were headed?
Similar. I've just gotten so used to listening to a podcast or music
Yeah.
while I'm working from home that when nothing's playing, I'm weirded out all of a sudden.
Yeah.
This doesn't sound right. This is weird. I need something.
Uh-huh.
I need noise. I need noise. So
Yep.
I understand people loving silence. That it can make a lot of sense, but for me, it just now sounds weird.
Especially parents. Parents need silence sometimes.
Hmm.
I was on a
Right.
I was on a work conference call the other day, and you're waiting for people to show up at the very beginning, so everyone's kind of on mute, and there's always one person on my team that just can't handle silence, and so always making these crack jokes, making the elevator type jokes while everyone else is sitting around, and someone else chimed in and goes, "It's pretty clear that you don't have any children. You can't just appreciate just being silent for 5 minutes." I thought, yes, that's so true.
That is the one time I do enjoy silence. That before the phone call at work, we're all on mute. Let's just wait till everyone's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll handle just mute for a couple minutes here.
We don't need to talk about the weather. How much rain we got.
That's right.
I love having that silence when you're in person in the conference room and the meeting, and
Goodness.
people are almost scared to say anything because they know everyone will hear it. I love that. It's like,
No whispering to your neighbor if it's a big enough room.
did you see that game last night? Did you see that game last night? That's some good stuff. Kitty, bring us home with the final pick here.
All right. I think it's a sound most of us have heard, and that's ba-ba. That is the sound of settling. That is amazing that band gave everyone an opportunity to rip on your buddies. Just, oh, look, oh, you're getting married, huh? Ba-ba, ba-ba. That is the sound of settling. Just insults for days. It's fantastic.
Oh my God, what a pick. I did not see that one coming. Nowhere near my board.
I've got two of them on here where I knew they were going to be on Kitty's board, so I was like, do I go ahead and try to steal it just for the no? It doesn't matter because Kitty's going with ba 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 ba. This is the sound of settling.
Oh, I love it.
I feel like I had to go a little off the board once on one of these picks.
Sure,
Oh, yeah.
sure.
That's
You
great
skipped
choice.
out on bowling pins, the bowling ball hitting the bowling.
Oh yeah,
pin,
pure
hitting the
strike.
sweet spot of a driver. I mean, I figured both of those were on yours.
I hear those so often. Doesn't even.
That's true.
I just throw anymore.
True.
Takes it for granted.
Take them for granted now.
I mean, I almost went with 4 song categories and just song titles, but I feel like I'd save one for the end just to go with it that way.
Yeah. No, I think the effect actually took a pretty solid hit. So well done.
Thanks.
Well done. Ba, 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 ba. That is the sound of the end of the episode. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got for you on the Clearing Waivers podcast this week. We appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to join us once again. We appreciate having you. If you like what you hear, go ahead and give us a rating on iTunes, anywhere you're getting your podcast. If you're on YouTube, you need to check us out on the YouTube channel. Give us a rating, become a subscriber so you get all the updates of when a new episode drops. You can see our pretty faces. That's always a joy for everyone, I'm sure. But yeah, we always appreciate the support. All the social media handles at Clearing Waivers. Go check us out and interact with us on those. We have some good discussions about the current format of the podcast here, Josh and the two dorks. Very, very, very much appreciate that shout out. But yeah, go check us out on the social media at Clearing Waivers. But other than that, we'll see you next week. Ta-ta for now.